Bill O'Neill, winner, winner, winner. Bill O'Neill advances for title. Indeed, the birthday girl, Stephanie Zavala.
Trying to make the show. There it is.
He yelled, do it, and he did it. BJ Moore makes the show. 10 is a win for Snodgrass. Title number 6 on the PWBA Tour.
Off his hand, it looks good. It looks good. He's done it. He's done it.
And good evening, ladies and gentlemen, as we welcome you to Bowl TV, YouTube, and Facebook tonight. Of course, it is time for the USBC Collegiate Sectionals Assignment Show, also known as Selection Wednesday. My name is Emil Williams Jr. Always a pleasure to be here with you as some good news for a lot of teams is about to hit the stage right now. Of course, we've got a couple of things to do. In just a few minutes, we will announce all the men's and women's teams who have qualified for sectionals, along with the competition locations. So teams and certainly, and perhaps most importantly, coaches can begin to make the important travel arrangements. But before we get started, of course, we've got a few thank yous we'd like to make. Big shout out to the USBC youth and collegiate staffs, including Melissa Matos, Amanda O'Loughlin, Andrew Lowy, Zach Barden, Janae Jones, Brian English, Zach Singer, Skylar Wojciechowski, and of course, Gary Brown. Also, a hearty thank you to the selection committee for all of their hard work and tireless efforts throughout the week, and certainly today and this season. And last but not least, shout out to our producer tonight, Chase Kaufman. He took the evening round off tonight at the PBA Players Championship to produce tonight's show. In fact, Chase is so generous that he's also decided to make tonight's round of the PBA Players Championship on the main channel free. So if you're watching right now on YouTube or Facebook, after this show ends, head on over to Bowl TV. The main channel, the PBA Players Championship round tonight will be free for you to watch and check out Bowl TV. All right, so let's get into a couple of things that you do need to know, just in case you're unfamiliar with how the process works, how teams actually get assigned and selected for sectionals. The process is based on ranking points earned during the regular season, and USBC attempts to place no more than 2 of the top 8 schools and no more than 4 of the top 16 schools in any sectional, again, all based on the team ranking system. The top 80 eligible men's and women's teams were seeded into sectionals. And the format, certainly grueling, but it is, of course, over a couple of days. 64 Baker games, 32 games each day, with total pinfall determining the top 4 teams who will advance to the Intercollegiate Team Championships. Sectionals weekend this year is March 13th through the 15th, and it's across 4 locations: AMF Mount Lebanon Lanes in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, Stardust Bowl in Addison, Illinois, City View Lanes in Fort Worth, Texas, and Smyrna Bowling Center in Smyrna, Tennessee. Now, March 13th, which is a Friday, that will be qualifying for the Intercollegiate Singles Championships. And of course, the 14th and 15th are designated for qualifying for the Intercollegiate Team Championships. ISCs and ITCs will take place the week of April 13th through the 18th. And for the first time, the Ashwaubenon Bowling Alley in Ashwaubenon, Wisconsin, of course, just outside of Green Bay, will host the National Championship Tournament for the very first time. Now, the Orvis family is fantastic. Give them a shout out because their staff is great. They've got a great center. They've hosted Junior Gold just last year and plenty of professional events, so we are in good hands at the Ashwaubenon. The TV shows will be taped on the 18th, and those will air on CBS Sports Network. All shows will air during the months of April and May. This will be the 52nd season of USBC Collegiate Postseason Play and the 3rd year of the USBC Collegiate Hall of Fame, which this year will officially induct Jazriel Tan, PJ Haggerty, Warren Eels, Kerm Helmer, and Steve Lawson. It is going to be another exciting week this time in Green Bay, Wisconsin. So without further ado, let's see who's going to sectionals and where. And we will start with Fort Worth. I see you, Chase. I hear the music. And we will start with the Fort Worth men, and it's business as usual for the Shockers of Wichita State, who finished second overall in the rankings, but on the top seed in Fort Worth. The Shockers took home a Tier 1 victory at the McKinley Match Games in November and earned first place power points at 3 additional Tier 1 events, including the Hoosier Classic. Senior Carter Street had himself a Player of the Year type of season. It featured 3 wins, including the collegiate shootout. He also finished second in the country in average differential, and managed to average 252 for one turn. Trey Henriksmeyer and Josh Hammonds also finished the season in the top 10 in both average and average differential. There you see Newman as the Jets head into sectional competition with plenty of confidence. Their runner-up finished at the Hoosier Classic. During the season, they added a win at the prestigious Leatherneck Classic. They won the SWIBC Conference Championship and finished no worse than 5th during bracket play at any event this season. Senior Noah Akiona is in the top 20 in both average and average differential. He is having his best season of his career, while freshman Darius Allo has been a very nice addition to the group. Consistent performers include Zach Smullen and Liam Hardman as they continue to excel for the Jets. There you see 12th ranked St. Francis, Illinois. St. Xavier in 15th, 2 Chicagoland schools. Shout out to Spencer and Bobby there. 21st is Northwestern Ohio. How about Oklahoma Christian? Midland, Southern Nazarene, Grand Canyon, Ottawa of Kansas, San Jose State, always a historic program, Texas San Antonio, Missouri Baptist, and MOBAP, of course, representing St. Louis. They'll be involved in the watch party, and there they are. Our first watch party of the night. We'll see MOBAP in just a little bit. Arizona State, always formidable, followed by Avila, Dallas Baptist, Iowa Central Community College, Fresno State, and there in 72nd sits Judson on the men's side of things. See, that's the energy that I was hoping for. And I knew Justin would not let me down because we've got a connection. Shout out to the Elite Youth Tour. And finally, of course, in 78th, Kansas Wesley. And speaking of Judson, I do want to take this opportunity while we have a moment to bring in into the broadcast our first interview tonight. He is the head coach of the men's and women's programs at Judson University. So we welcome in Leandro. Coach, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
All right, Coach. Obviously, we're talking about the men. We're going to talk about the women in just a second, but the program continues to grow leaps and bounds in both the men's side and the women's side. Briefly, one kind of question for each. What does the men's team have to do to make a run? They've got the talent, and certainly the women's team has continued what you started last year, working into this year. What has worked so well for the men's and women's teams?
The men just need to believe in what they can do. That's going to be the main thing for them. We grinded all season on that side, but they were able to get into where they needed to do. They're very pleased. We're obviously excited about going to Texas, most of us. So it will be fun because that'll be different because it's usually Stardust. So on that side of things, on the ladies' side, it's pretty much just about continuing our consistency, being grateful just to be there, being humble, being consistent and disciplined with our shots, and just understanding it's a marathon, not a sprint. So yeah, super proud of everything. And like I said, super grateful for everything you guys do. And thank you for the interview as well.
Oh, thank you. And thank you for joining us, Judson. Enjoy Texas. Safe travels. And we hope to see you in Green Bay. That was energy. I felt it. I felt it all up in here. The energy. It's what I needed in my life. All right, let's keep on going. We head over to the women's side of things, of course, of the squads. We talked about Judson, and there they are, the 4th-ranked team in the country, and, of course, the top seed in Fort Worth. After a dynamite 2025, the Eagles are once again, of course, watching tonight's show, completing their best season again in program history. I'm looking for I mean, you get 2 for 1 for Judson. They own this thing right off the bat. Judson earned the first place, they earned first place power points in 5 events this season, including a couple of runner-up performances in Tier 1 competition. Junior Paige Carpenter has been excellent this year, 3 victories, while junior Caitlin Kiefer has 1 individual title to her credit. Next on that list is Ottawa and Kansas, and the Braves are also bringing some momentum to the postseason in hopes of their program's first ITC appearance. They boast 2 wins on the season with the Football Collegiate Challenge and the Columbia Cougar Classic. They are also great in Tier 1 competition, finishing in the top 10 power points on 3 separate occasions. Brooke Peck, Holly Bridges, and Katie Johnson will add more history for Ottawa as they head to March. Northwestern Ohio has had a very good year on the women's side. Same thing with Missouri Baptist. We saw Mobap earlier. They have joined us tonight and have turned up the energy as well. And Coach, it's been a very, very good season for Mobap. Same thing from the men's and women's sides of things. The women are ranked 11th. Coach, what's been the secret for the success so far this year?
Primarily for the ladies, it's just been their connectivity. They're just really a good group, solidly locked together, and learning how to be goldfish. So they're doing real good.
What can the viewers and for those who tune in for both the men and the women to watch the Fort Worth sectional, what should they expect to see?
We're going to bring it. We're coming on strong. Just going to do everything that we know how and just push it to the limit and just be the best version of ourselves and just work together and see if we can bring it home.
All right, Coach Griffin, I know you're going to represent that 314 in Texas. Good luck. Safe travels. Missouri Baptist with a ton of top 10 finishes with respect to both bracket play and power points. They were fantastic. There you see 22nd Louisiana Sentinel, top ranked NCAA squad. St. Francis of Illinois is 23rd, followed by Morningside in 39th, St. Xavier is 32nd, Newman is 34th, along with Oklahoma Christian in 37th. There is Peru State in 53rd. Southern Nazarene continues to build. North Carolina A&T, they've won this tournament a few years back. Texas A&M in 64th. Tulane, watch out for them with Mia Salakis. Avila in 72nd. Iowa Central Community College in 79th. And Texas San Antonio rounds out the women's teams in Fort Worth, Texas. Good luck to all. Again, headed to City View Lanes, March 14th and 15th in Fort Worth. We keep this train moving as we head north this time to Pittsburgh in AMF Mount Lebanon Lanes. We will start with the men. This is a squad that Ace would really know a little bit about. The Lawrence Tech Blue Devils, or as I like to say, the Fighting Chase Coffins, looking to capture their first ITC title in 2026. They have finished second in both 2019 and 2024. Their squad is just as good this year with a win at the Roto Grip Keystone Quaker Classic and a runner-up finish at the Lehigh Valley Classic. Benjamin Augustitis and Aiden Davis lead an extremely consistent group that boasts 6 players, all averaging 209 or better. They are followed by the Indiana Tech Warriors, who look to return to ITCs after missing nationals just a season ago. The squad captured the Lehigh Valley Classic for their lone Tier 1 win of the season, but they placed second during that same weekend at the Keystone Quaker. Add in another top 5 finish at the Midwest Collegiate Championships, and that sounds like a recipe for postseason success to me. Sophomore Malachi Petrie leads the team in both average and average differential. There is McKendry in 11th with plenty of postseason experience and success. Trine continues to have a fantastic year as well. How about Aquinas, who joins us watching? Shout out to Aquinas, who finished second in qualifying at the Hoosier Classic. I see you, Aquinas, putting in the work. Y'all have been working for a while, and it's really starting to pay off. I look forward to seeing what you can do in Pittsburgh, man. This is awesome. All right, now to Muskegon in 21st, and they too will watch party tonight.
Oh, yeah!
Always great to see one of the best true club squads in all of the country. Shout out to them. Keep your eyes open as well for Muskegon. Robert Morris, PA, in 28th. Willie P. William Patterson in 32nd. There is Milligan in 34th. Shout out to Coach Mike Hall. And University of Olivet in 41st. We get a watch party there too. Oh, okay. They brought it. That's serious business. Okay. I like it. I like that. All right. We'll talk to Olivet here in just 1 second. So stay tuned for that. Well, that's impressive. Energy. All right, New Jersey Tech is 44th, followed by Rochester Tech in 45th, Indiana Wesleyan in 49th, Mercyhurst is 58th, Madonna is 63rd, SUNY Stony Brook in 64th, Erie Community College in 70th, Cleary is 71st, St. Vincent is 76th, and Rochester Christian is 79th. I mentioned we were going to bring it back around, of course, to Olivet and get a chance to really wrap briefly with head coach Brandon Grice here in a moment.
Hey.
Coach, can you hear me?
Hey, Emil.
Hey, Coach, just briefly, obviously the season is off to a great start, but realistically, the season is just kind of getting going, right? So for you in the program, what has to happen for you to be successful in the month of March and, of course, advance to ITCs?
Well, to be honest with you, we've gotten the team ready with the culture we built. Both sides have done a great job this year, taking the foundation, rebuilding it the last 2 years. We're ready to show on the big stage now. These kids have put in the work. This program is because of them. I'm just excited to be a part of it. I'm really looking forward to ITC. I think we're going to shock some people.
Ooh, well, we love shocks. I love upsets, especially in March. It's the perfect time for upsets. So I'm looking forward to it. Congratulations, Coach, and good luck at Sectionals.
Thanks, Emil. Appreciate it.
You're welcome. Shout out to all of that, ladies and gentlemen. How about that? All right, he said it perfectly. Ready to shock the world. It's March. That's exactly what should happen. As we continue on the path of naming all of these squads who are headed to USBC Sectionals, we head to the women's teams now, and there it is again. How about Lawrence Tech, man? What a season for Lawrence Tech. They swept the Tier 1 titles at the Roto Grip Keystone Quaker Classic and the Lehigh Valley Classic. They were fantastic during the Wolverine Hoosier Conference season, and they finished no worse than 9th at any Tier 1 event. They've got 5 players averaging 180 or better, all led by Kaylin Weber. And one more time, this time it's the Milligan women, and they are ranked 7th in the country. One more time for Milligan. As if their season from last year couldn't actually get better, they found a way to top it, right? What a fantastic year it's been for the Milligan women's squad, and they certainly hope it continues into the postseason. They're reaching the Final Four at the Hoosier Classic this year. They won a Tier 1 event at the Glenn Carlson Las Vegas Invitational in December after opening the season with first-place power points at the Midwest Collegiate Championships. And if that's not enough, they got great performances during Mid-South Conference events as well. Emily Cheeseman bowled every game this season for Milligan and had 3 top 5 finishes as she looks to lead the team to their first ITC bid. Keep your eyes open for the 12th-ranked St. Vincent there, along with the 16th-ranked Indiana Tech Warriors. Again, love trying. Shout out to Hope. There is Aquinas again in 24th. One more time for Aquinas and their watch party. All right, then on to Olivet, who is 26. We'll give them another round of applause. A lot of successful teams, just like Muskingum, who will get one more opportunity at glory here.
Let's go! Woo! Yes.
Well, see you kids in Pittsburgh as we continue on here with Rochester Christian at 35th, Rio Grande is 42nd. Lourdes is 43rd. The Dominican of New York is 47th. McKendree 48th. Delaware State 56th. Shawnee State 62nd. Duquesne is 69th. Kutztown is 74th. And Cleary is 80th. Good luck again to all the teams headed to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, March 14th through the 15th. Again, AMF Mount Lebanon Lanes. Now we will head south. It is time to learn the teams in both the men's and women's divisions and Smyrna. And we start with the men. The defending national champions will officially begin their title defense, the Wisconsin Whitewater Warhawks. That will take place in Smyrna. They enter as the Great Lakes Bowling Conference champions. The Warhawks had several runner-up finishes in bracket play, along with PowerPoints during the season, including the Kegel ISBPA and the Warhawk Open. They also added a pair of third-place PowerPoint finishes in Tier 1 competition. Individually, Louis Pisano, Dawson Peterson, and Luke Winter have combined for 6 individual wins during the season, and they have this group poised for a possible repeat in Green Bay. Shout out to Whitewater, shout out to Coach Mooney and the squad there. Next up, Weber International ranked 7th. And, of course, Weber, obviously, historically so good. They've got a lot of Jason, I'm going to chat with Dell right now while we have it, and then we'll get back into the notes for Weber. Dell, obviously, you got plenty of experience. This group's got plenty of experience. You guys know exactly what to do in March. A little bit somber, obviously, as you announced you were going to be stepping down from your role as head coach. So I'm wondering, how do you keep the group focused on the task in hand and not necessarily trying to win it for you in your final year?
Well, I've only had a couple of requests at the start of the season. And I said, I just want you guys to play together as a unit and have fun. And that's the two things that we focused on this year. And it's been a really fun season with this group. They're clowns. They're animated. We got a lot of characters on the team, but we got a lot of really, really good kids on this team. So it's been a lot of fun. And that's all, that's all you could do is, work hard together and have a great time. And heck, it's college, right? It doesn't get better than this.
Indeed. Coach, before I let you go, who's the funniest character on the team?
I'm going to say the guy that cracks me up the most is Michael Weil.
Okay.
The senior. He just cracks me up the most. Yeah.
Well, I'm looking forward to meeting him and seeing all of you, of course, at ITCs, but you got a job to do, so good luck in Smyrna. Congratulations, Weber. All right, that's Del Warren, that's Weber. And here's the rundown, by the way, on Weber. I was going to get to it, as they will join Whitewater, of course, in Smyrna. Another dynamite campaign, which included 4 wins in either bracket play or PowerPoints. Brandon Bone, now a senior, that happened very fast. He leads the nation average at 227. Only player in the country to have an average differential of 40 or better. He also won 3 titles, including the Hoosier Classic. He averaged 258 to win the NAIA Southeast Open one. I mean, that's incredible. And, of course, Del Warren stepping down, but looking for one more title to add to his illustrious resume in Green Bay. They are followed by SCAD Savannah. That's going to be Smyrna's always tough, but, man, Whitewater, Weber, then SCAD. Purdue is always very good. You got Belmont Abbey, then Tennessee Wesleyan. Emmanuel 30th. Watch out for my Lindenwood Lions, 2-time champs. Quincy in 35th. Baker is 36th. Cumberland is 38th. Vincennes is 43rd. William Penn is 47th. Florida State is 50th. Coe College 51st. There's SCAD Atlanta in 60th. There in 61st is Midway. And shout out to Midway. They've got a watch party brewing under head coach Chris McMillan. I see you, C-Mac, in the squad. All right, Midway, again, is 61st. 69th there is Southeastern Illinois. 73rd, Campbellsville. And in 74th, Mobile, excuse me, because that's in Alabama. Now on to the women's squads. And speaking of SCAD, we're the third-ranked Savannah College of Art and Design Bees. They opened the season with a Tier 1 victory at the Midwest Collegiate Championships, and they basically haven't looked back since, folks. They added 3 more victories during the year, never finished lower than 5th in power points at any event. Elizabeth Weeks is a candidate for Player of the Year, 5th in average with 207, 2nd in average differential at 36. Could this be the year? You see what I did there? SCAD advances to the TV show. Well, folks, stay tuned and find out. And ranked 6th overall, but 2nd, of course, here in Smyrna is the Lindenwood Lady Lions. In the midst of another strong season under the guidance of Phil Vida, they won 3 times this season. They took down the Cedar Valley Invite, the Lions Classic, and the Western Shootout to open the season. They added 3 top 6 PowerPoint finishes in Tier 1 competition. The team is led by Haley Bozick, who won the Lions Classic title, along with 5 top 5 finishes. Also, Elizabeth Rittenauer had 3 top 5 finishes of her own. Shout out to William Penn, who was 13th. They had a phenomenal year. Same thing with Cumberland in 15th. Tennessee Wesleyan in 18th. They built a very, very nice program. Same with Cole. Emmanuel sits in 25th. Cumberland's in 30th. And in 33rd, it's actually defending ITC champions, Jacksonville State, the top-ranked team in the NCAA world. Of course, you got to circle them on this ranking sheet. Columbia sits in 39th. There is Culver Stockton in 41st. Mount St. Mary's is 45th, followed by Wright State, Purdue, UAB, SCAD Atlanta, Goshen, Belmont Abbey, Baker, and Union Commonwealth. And that will conclude all of our squads headed to Smyrna, Tennessee. Smyrna Bowling Center, always a great facility. We appreciate all of our, of course, hosts. Smyrna has been a long-time sectionals host. Well, of course, 3 down, and that means there's only 1 sectional remain. And that is the one in the Midwest, where I'm from, Chicagoland. Stardust Bowl in Addison, Illinois. We will start with the men's squad, and we've got ourselves a watch party to start with as well. And because the St. Ambrose men are the #1 team in the country under head coach Eric Liddick. That's right, clap it up. You earned that opportunity. St. Ambrose, the Fighting Bees, they finished the regular season as the top-ranked team on the strength of 3 wins, including a Tier 1 victory at the Midwest Collegiate Championships. They added 4 top 5 Tier 1 PowerPoint finishes during the season. Junior Kendrick Siders took home the individual title at the 5 Seasons Classic and is in the top 10 nationally in both average and average differential. Senior Tommy Burns finished 2nd at the 5 Seasons Classic and added 2 more top 10 finishes of his own. Boy, St. Ambrose, they've got talent everywhere on the roster, which means 2026 could be the year that they take home their first ITC crown. Well, not if Mount Mercy might have something to say about it, because they're siblings in Iowa, if you will. Mount Mercy 3rd. The Mustangs with another watch party. Last year they brought the energy. I still see it. I see the Mustangs, so the energy is now with me. The Mustangs of Mount Mercy, they will look to improve upon last season's 5th place finish, which is the highest in program history. This season, they earned a Tier 1 victory at the Glenn Carlson Invitational and took home wins at the Quahog Classic and the Warhawk Open. Australia's Blake Walsh, who won the men's ISC title last year as a rookie, along with freshman Jay Boxty this year, 1st and 2nd respectively in Tier 1 average and average differential. That's a very key stat. Again, Tier 1 average and average differential. Can't forget about last season's Player of the Year in Zach Andreessen, sophomore Keegan Alexander, both in the top 20 in average around the country. Their depth, very similar to St. Ambrose, could be the piece to help them win their first ITC crown in school history. Speaking of first, Calumet College took home the Hoosier Classic. Well, this might be Coach Mike Kabacki's best squad, and he's had some teams that make TV show. A lot of great transfers, some really good freshmen. He's done a wonderful job of integrating everybody and creating what looks to be a very, very good nucleus. There is Marion, Indiana in 14th. Marion of Wisconsin is 19th. Pikeville is 24th. The Ohio State is 25th. Spring Arbor has been solid this year. There's Rock Valley. Shout out to Coach Hall. Viterbo is 37th. Wartburg is 40th, followed by Davenport in 48th. Ohio Northern in 53rd. Hastings is 54th. Wisconsin Platteville is 57th. Michigan Dearborn is 65th, followed by Wisconsin Oshkosh. Clark is at 75th, followed by Templeton. There is Clark. They've got a watch party tonight as well. This watch party idea is really working out well. All right, we'll get back to Clark here in a little bit. Huntington 77th and Iowa Western is 80th. Now on to the women's squads, and we go back, of course, to Cedar Rapids, Iowa, and see Mount Mercy, the women, the top-ranked team there in Addison. And just like last year, they were the top-ranked team heading into it. This year, they're the top-ranked team heading into it. They got to the show last year. Can they get back and this time seal the deal? We'll find out soon. Although this time, of course, on the heels of winning the always difficult Hoosier Classic. How about that for momentum heading into the postseason? They added another Tier 1 event at the Kegel ISBPA Classic, captured first-place power points at 6 other events. One of the deepest squads certainly in the country. Any player on the roster can go off at any time. Sophomore Savannah Dixon, freshman Tori Franklin are just 2 of the team leaders in average this season. Right below them, of course, sits Pikeville. And the Bears added some new coaches to the squad, but it didn't have any effect on the performance. Shout out to Amber Griffin, Brianna Clemmer, helping lead the team to another standout year, which has included a Tier 1 victory at the Bolero South Collegiate Classic and a runner-up finish at the Hoosier Classic. Although Pikeville did earn first-place power points at the Hoosier, they were the number 1 seed after qualifying. Brianna Rogers has looked like a possible Player of the Year candidate. 3 tournament victories this season, a 3rd-place finish at the Hoosier Classic. Caitlin Peck and Katarina Hagler have also been key contributors for Pikeville this season. You got Calumet College of St. Joseph's there in 10th. Spring Arbor, again, talked about fantastic seasons. McPherson has done a fantastic job. Still a young program, but Mitchell White has done a phenomenal job there. How about Sacred Heart, 20th? Sacred Heart is watching tonight. I just saw Coach Becky's squad a couple of weeks ago, and they looked fantastic in Lockport, and I expect them to look just the same in sectional. So that's a formidable foe. Folks better be paying attention to Sacred Heart in Addison. Marion of Indiana. St. Ambrose, once again, take your bow as they sit in 31st. We'll see St. Ambrose one more time in Addison. Monmouth in 36th. Waldorf in 40th. Wartburg is 44th. Central Missouri, who made ITCs for the first time in quite some time last year, they are in 49th. Watch out for them. There's Governor State. Shout out to Melon McDaniel. 51st in Alma. Maryville made the show before as well. 54th. Marion, Wisconsin, 55th. Wisconsin Whitewater. Wisconsin Madison. Carroll. Davenport. Ohio State. Clark, Huntington, and Grandview. But back to Clark real quick. And we will have an opportunity briefly to chat with head coach Brooke Green. Coach, I'm curious, just from your vantage point and what you've seen from the programs this year, how and what have the programs shown you, the teams, of course, that have you confident that they are ready to make some noise here at Sectionals?
Yeah, we have a pretty young team, but I'm confident that we have trained our mental game, our TMT, we like to call it, our true mental toughness, to rise to where we need to be.
I'm looking forward to it, Coach, and I love your mentality. I love the attitude, and thank you for joining us tonight. Good luck at Sectionals.
Thank you.
Give it up one more time for Clark. And with that said, again, good luck to everyone heading to Stardust Bowl in Addison, Illinois. In fact, you will see me there at Stardust Bowl in Addison as I will be on the call and have the coverage for you, courtesy of Bowl TV in just a couple of weeks. Again, once again, all TV shows that are taped will air from ITCs and ISCs in the month of April and certainly May. On behalf of USBC and the BPA, we'd like to thank all of our partners tonight: Storm, Kegel, I Am Bowling, Lane Talk, Roto Grip, 900 Global, Motive, and CDE. Also want to give a shout out to all of our coaches who have joined us tonight. Of course, Brandon Grice, Olivet, Chris McMillan of Midway, Doug Smith of Muskegum, Donald Griffin, Don G at Missouri Baptist. We just talked to Brooke Green, of course, with Clark, Brian Rickert of Milligan, Harold Kukowski of Aquinas, Andy Dirks of Mount Mercy, Eric Liddick at St. Ambrose, and Vince Biondo of Judson. One more reminder, Chase is giving out a free round of the PBA Players Championship tonight on Bowl TV. So if you're watching on YouTube, Facebook, head on over to Bowl TV. You get to watch for free tonight. Enjoy the PBA. Enjoy everything the PBA and Bowl TV has to offer this week. This has been Selection Wednesday, ladies and gentlemen. Good luck at sectionals. You watch the Selection Wednesday show live right here on Bowl TV. Remember, bowling lives here. Good night, folks.
Bill O'Neill, winner, winner, winner. Bill O'Neill advances for title. Indeed. The birthday girl, Stephanie Zavala.
9 to make the show. There it is.
He yelled, do it, and he did it. BJ Moore makes the show. 10 is a win for Snodgrass. Title number 6 on the PWVA Tour.
Off his hand, it looks good. It looks good. He's done it. He's done it.